3 views. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum on Saturday in Bama and Gwoza addressed military officers and community leaders, noting that ongoing surrender of Boko Haram fighters has left Borno State with two extremely difficult situations. He said the situation required diverse stakeholders, including representatives of attacked communities, to come together and critically review the pros, cons, and implications of the surrender, in order to agree on a framework that is well thought out. Zulum traveled to Gwoza and Bama local government areas for humanitarian and developmental activities before addressing military commanders at brigades in Gwoza and Bama, and community leaders at the palaces of the Emir of Gwoza and Shu of Bama. The governor delivered the same message in both towns. We, Borno, are in a very difficult situation over the ongoing surrender by insurgents. We have to critically look between two extreme conditions and decide our future. We have to choose between an endless war or to cautiously accept the surrendered terrorists, which is really painful and difficult for anyone that has lost loved ones, difficult for all of us and even for the military whose colleagues have died and for volunteers. No one would find it easy to accept killers of his or her parents, children, and other loved ones. In the last 12 years we have been in this war, and we have lost thousands of fellow citizens. We don't know the whereabouts of thousands of others, we don't know whether they are alive or dead. In these 12 years, millions have been made homeless and many wealthy farmers, transporters and others have been rendered poor. In these years, we were able to cultivate maybe around 3% of the arable land, and as a result our people became dependent on food aid amid donor fatigue and potential food insecurity. In fact, the repercussions of the Boko Haram crisis are enormous, and as someone who has been involved with assessment of the impacts and rebuilding efforts in the last 7 years, I am in position to know the endless negative impact the Boko Haram has made in Borno, Zulum said. Photo grid shows Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum visits with military leaders and community head over surrendered Boko Haram fighters. Photo, Government House, Maiduguri. The governor said accepting Boko Haram has the risk of seriously offending the feelings of victims with potential of civil rebellion, just as there is the risk that if Boko Haram fighters willing to surrender are rejected, they can join ISWAP to swell the ranks of fighters in the bush and the path of peace becomes narrowed. On my way traveling to Gwoza and Bama, I saw many people cultivating their farmlands by the roadside, and this is an indication of emerging peace, which we have to sustain in order to salvage our people. However, like I said, we must come together to carefully analyze the two extremes and come up with a workable framework, Zulum said. Zulum explained that he will engage in high-level consultations with President Muhammadu Buhari, service chiefs and resident security heads, traditional rulers, elders and religious leaders, national and state assembly members, academics and other stakeholders, particularly victims of the crimes perpetrated by the insurgents, so that stakeholders will critically review the situation and come up with a framework on how to move forward. Meanwhile, Zulum during his visits to Gwoza and Bama, gave developmental directives on improving schools and hospitals. At Views Exclusive Rights, Office of the Governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, August 15, 29021. Kindly support our vision of building a community of 1 million pen soldiers whose successes will be judged based on positive development in the society. Angry youths threaten group trying to install Sultan Emirate in Edo, August 19, 2021. Youths from Edo State have continued to express anger over a coronation invitation card that has gone viral of one, challenges Afghan women, men to face in the hands of Taliban coming weeks will be terrible, France, August 18, 2021. President of France, Emmanuel Macron has said the challenges the people of Afghanistan will face in the hands of Taliban, Afghanistan. Nigerians pray Boko Haram never knock on the gates of Abuja, US will not help us. Femi Fani Kayode, August 18, 2021. Former Minister of Aviation and also Nigeria former Minister of Culture, Femi Fani Kayode has continued to draw attention to the why Boko Haram may repeat Taliban Afghanistan scenario in Nigeria. Reno Omokri, August 17, 2021. It is no longer news that Taliban Islamic militants have regained and took over Afghanistan again on Sunday. Taliban militants, 78-year-old man Okala Joseph arrested with 2 weapons of mass destruction, rocket-propelled grenade launchers in Benue, August 17, 2021. Nigeria police force has announced the arrest and paraded one Mr. Okala Joseph, a 78-year-old man for being